The United States has a plan to deal with BRICS countries Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, investing in Africa. This plan is not simple and has to do with money, world politics, and careful planning. As the world's economy changes, the USA needs to make sure it still has power and benefits in places like Africa. The countries in BRICS are growing their influence in Africa, so the USA has to be smart in its actions. To do this, the USA is using different ways to protect its strong economy, important relationships with other countries, and its own plans for the future. However, before we begin our video, we would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel and also press the bell icon. Let's get started. Dollar dominance and de-dollarization. For a long time, the US's power around the world has been closely connected to its money, especially the US dollar. People all over the world use the dollar a lot, and this gives the USA some big advantages when it comes to trading, money matters, and even putting pressure on other countries through things like sanctions. But now, because countries like BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa are becoming stronger, they're talking about using the dollar less. This is called de-dollarization. BRICS countries and some other nations are looking into using different money options for deals between countries. This change is making the USA think about how it can keep its strong control over the economy and its ability to use things like sanctions to make other countries do what it wants. The USA is taking steps to make sure the dollar stays really important as the main money that countries keep in reserve. To do this, they might do things like being careful with their money, making sure it's steady, and making their financial system strong. They could also make agreements with other countries to use the dollar more, and they might talk to other countries to convince them not to use other types of money. BRICS currency and trade integration. The BRICS countries are thinking about using their own special money, called the BRIC currency, for trading with each other. This might make the dollar less important in the world. If this new money becomes popular, it could change how countries trade with each other. People might not need as many dollars for buying and selling things between countries, which could affect how strong the USA's money power is. To deal with this situation, the USA could try to make its friendships with countries not in BRICS even stronger. They might encourage these countries to keep using the dollar in their trade deals. They could also give good trade conditions and work more closely on money matters through agreements with one or more countries. By doing this, the USA can show that it's a good choice for trading and investing, which could help it stay important in the world economy. Geopolitical concerns. The USA is worried because countries like BRICS are becoming more important, especially in Africa. These countries are spending a lot of money in Africa to improve things like roads, resources, and places to buy and sell things. This is making it harder for the USA to have the same influence in Africa like before. China's Belt and Road Initiative is an example. They're giving Africa a lot of money for building things and helping their economy grow. To respond, the USA could show that it really cares about African countries. They might offer help to develop and invest in Africa and give chances to trade that match what African countries want. A plan called Prosper Africa is all about helping Africa's economy grow, and this could help the USA fight against BRICS investments. Also, the USA might become better friends with African governments to make sure their interests are heard and their partnerships stay strong. Countermeasures and diplomacy. To deal with BRICS investments in Africa, the USA might use different ways to fight back. They could do things like offering good deals for trading, chances to invest in Africa, and help for development. By doing this, they can show African countries that they are a good friend to have, and this might make the investments from BRICS countries not as attractive. This plan could make the USA stronger in Africa and have more say in politics and money matters. In a friendly way, the USA might have important talks, meetings, and discussions with African countries to make their friendships stronger. They could listen to what African countries really want and try to help with those things. This way, the USA can work together with African countries for a long time and achieve things that they both want. Promoting US interests. In the end, the USA's plan to fight against BRICS investments in Africa is all about looking after its own money interests, having power in world politics, and keeping good friendships. As BRICS countries get stronger in Africa, the USA wants to make sure it stays close to African countries and keeps leading in how things happen in that part of the world. To make this happen, the USA could show that it really wants to be friends by trading, investing, and helping African countries grow. They could also work on being better friends by talking a lot and giving chances for business that African countries really want. If the USA does these things, it can make it harder for BRICS investments to make a big impact and keep being important in Africa. To sum it up, the USA has a plan with many parts to fight against BRICS investments in Africa. They want to keep the US dollar strong, help countries work together, solve world politics worries, talk things out with other countries, and make sure they're on the same page as African countries. As the world changes, how well the USA deals with these challenges will decide how much power and benefits it keeps in Africa and other places around the world. That's it for today. We hope you found our video interesting. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with others. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new uploads. In the end, see you next time.